All right, let's continue on here, taking a look at other plumbers or HVAC companies in cities right around 1 million people here in Canada, and came across John the Plumber in Ottawa and did that through a Bright local search. I'll show you that in a second, but must say hats off to this particular company that's done the work on here, just right from the layout, the amount of content, the branding. And as you scroll down the page, you'll be able to find out past the testimonials here what they've done here. Like just this section here tells me that who's ever doing their SEO definitely knows what they're doing here. And especially once you move further on, they've got a blog, and down here, all of these different searches here that they've already got, and of course all their addresses that are all linked. So an excellent, excellent job from their website design company. So let's go ahead and take a look at what their company looks like on a Google Map search. So what we've done here is we've taken a look on Google Maps, just typed in John the Plumber Ottawa, took a look at it. We've got a couple of extensions here, a little bit different than the last two companies we looked at in a sense here, and I don't know why this one is not refreshed here. I'll just have to refresh that again, but the pleper extension didn't work properly for some reason there. Let's just go ahead and just reload that again. But what we want to look at here on the left-hand side was the GMB Everywhere for the maps, and it's showing two categories, plumbing and drainage. That's it. And we'll take a look at the basic audit here in a second, and we'll take a look at a few of the other details. Again, the pleper shows, of course, it's verified, shows only two categories there, and shows a lot of the information here. They've got 200 images on their site type of thing, or sorry, on their profile, and about 915 reviews there. So anyways, let's pop over. We're going to do a basic audit on here to see, okay, what's going on, really what's going on their Google business profile. It's always nice to take a look at somebody that's doing really well and say, okay, what do we need to do that we could learn from? We're not in Ottawa, we're in some other city, and we take a look at this. So we can pop down. This is all the basic details. It's nice to take a look at what people are posting on a weekly or bi-weekly basis and so on, and what kind of questions get asked, because we know that that helps on your Google business profile. And then when you come down here and you take a look at their audits there, it's nice to see how much content they're adding. Kind of, you get an idea on their content strategy, so you can take a look at what's been indexed, especially in the last month, and then pop over and use, it doesn't matter which tool you use, but this is the free version here that you can go ahead and use with your Google account. Find out what their traffic is. And then down here, you can go ahead and go further into it. Take a look at what technology they use on their website for analytics and tracking and so on. And again, you can use the free tool from Neil Patel here for the actual SEO audit, just to give you a bit more in-depth on the keywords. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what shows up. This is on the questions and answers, and we know that that really does help as far as your ranking for your Google business profile. And so, looks like they're, getting pretty consistent questions and answers in there. It's always nice to see a lot more than that surround your keywords and your key services there. So chances are they'll probably up this where they're asking questions on a weekly basis type of thing. Then this was the interesting one. We always want to make sure that your posts are done well, branded, and are driving the traffic to the correct place here. Again, more as a, obviously as a social signal and a Google signal here, but, nicely branded. She's pointing at what you're looking at, make use of all of the space that you have here, add the keywords in, and have a call now button that can go, straight to the business. And these, can get routed through a call tracking number so you know where they're coming from. So again, well put together here. It's got May, and then July, and then August, and then another August, and September. Looks like maybe they stopped doing the posting there for some reason, but maybe they're going to pick it up again here in the new year. This is what was indexed in the last month here, so they've got a couple of pages on here. This is interesting that you want to poke around and find out what somebody else is using on their site. I always hide the removed ones. I'm not worried about that. So I use built with. And this one's built on WordPress. You can see it's using a Yoast plugin, and it's got the bakery builder and something to help speed it up with WP Rocket. And you can scroll down, see that they got contact form 7. Those types of things are all on there. It's nice to see, are they using much schema? They're not using nearly as much schema as the Calgary business was. So, it's probably something that they can go ahead and use. I think they got 5 different schemas on here. You continue on looking on here. Got the remarketing pixel, which is good. So, yeah, this one's done well. Oh, it looks like they've got a rewards subdomain here. Peace of mind. Okay, so really, really well laid out that way. Let's take a look on Uber Suggest at John the Plumber here. Gives you an estimated traffic. Domain authority is higher than the last one we looked at. And backlinks, I think is about 3 or 4 times higher than the last site we looked at. We'll scroll down, and again, if you're thinking about, wherever your city is, it gives you a good idea on some of the URL structure and on the keywords here. Shows you the backlinks they're using here. And the SEO keywords here, the position that they're at for plumber, plumber near me, and so on. It's always nice to go ahead and dig a little deeper into this and then figure out, okay, it looks like these ones here, probably the keyword difficulty, we won't look at that right now, is probably going to be quite high, but it does give you an ideas on what you can use. Chances are you'll want to use some longer tail keywords in here if you're first starting out. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at how they're actually ranking within the city of Ottawa compared to some of the competitors. I'll just pause this and we'll jump in and do that. All right, let's take a look at the rankings when we're not, in the center of the city here, just from Bright Local, where they're taking one particular location. Now let's just imagine that we're in different spots in the city and we're pulling up our phone and we're taking a look for, in this case, a plumber. You can see that basically in the city center here and then down off to the southeast here, the rankings are quite well, 2 and 3 and so on, and a handful of spots down here. Okay, but let's compare it to their competition. So, based on probably density, they're doing really well. Let's take a look at 2 or 3 of the competitors in Ottawa. And some really strong competition in Ottawa here, especially in the city center and across the border, into Quebec here. You can see that really strong here. So this company here is obviously, competing with them pretty aggressively and not too worried about the outskirts here at all. So let's take a look at 2 more competitors to John the Plumber. All right, the last one was Horizon, which was downtown and across the river, and now we have Mr. Rooter, and you can see this is like just really just the, the southeast corner here, and not too much, really into downtown Ottawa or anywhere across the river at all. So really strong in this area, and that is about it. So it doesn't look like on the online threat, as far as what's going to show up in your phone or a search, not much threat to John the Plumber or Horizon either. Now this one was a bit of a surprise here. It's Plumbing Express with 38 reviews, but definitely a strong and upcoming business as far as being searchable online when you take a look at them being able to penetrate into the downtown and maybe just a little bit off to the north there, but starting to get some pretty good penetration in here. So definitely an up and coming company, I would say. Now we'll finish up this video by taking a look on SpyFu. I'm not going to tackle any of the Facebook ads or any of the other ads right now, but on SpyFu, it gives you a pretty good idea what's going on. Shows you, the keywords that are paid for. It's close, right? And so when we scroll down here, you can take a look at the words that have, increased in ranking. It's nice to see who the organic competitors are, Mr. Rooter and a Roto-Rooter on the paid side. And again, the shared keywords here. And of course, these two rely heavily on content marketing, a lot of it. So you'd expect them to be larger. Then when you scroll down here, you get to take a look at the top keywords, organic, and the top paid words, which, no surprise that it's plumbers near me is for paid and for organic. Then when you scroll down into the top pages, it's nice to take a look at the pages that have, the most keywords on them and, a high monthly SEO click. So this one is fastest and best Ottawa plumbers near you. All right. So we click on that one and we take a look at it. And of course, John the Plumber, you'd expect it. But these are nice ones you can see down here. John the Plumber Ottawa, but even better, Plumbers Ottawa, plural, and then Plumber Ottawa. And then Ottawa Plumbers, moved up to #1. So, and it looks like an increase of 21 for plumbing services near me. So that's a really good sign. But again, good idea on the words that you could use as a company, in Ottawa, or for that matter, any other cities there. Because it's a Canadian site, we don't really get any good information on Google Ads recommendations or what's been showing. So anyways, a good roundup for John the Plumber. Hats off to their particular company and the work they're doing. And obviously been doing a lot of good work in Ottawa.